Hi, this is Hot Chocolate with Paul for January 18, 2026. On this episode, we're going to talk about my health at 65. I'm on Medicare now, exercise and dancing, and we're going to talk a little bit about my hearing loss. This will include a simulation of what my hearing loss is like, so you can know what I experience. So yeah, I just turned 65 in December, which means I'm on Medicare now. And for somebody who turned 65, I think I'm in decent shape. I did have my annual medical exam right around the same time, which also included the Medicare exam where they like to see how you're doing and set up a baseline for whatever happens after that. And that also included an EKG. So being on Medicare, it was a process to get it set up. I'm certainly not one to give anybody advice on how to set up Medicare, but I will say that the process starts earlier in the year, like I think 3 or 4 months out is when you're going to start getting all kinds of mail, postcards, and whatnot of people who help you get Medicare set up. The one thing I can tell you that I did not know before is that these people are not charging you anything. They get a commission from Medicare. So, if you feel comfortable having somebody do the work for you, knowing that they're going to get paid a commission for it, check them out and see if it's for you. One of the things that I did just this week was I purchased an Elliptical, an exercise machine. That's something that I used to enjoy when I was a member of health clubs, and it's something I missed. I've gone back and forth on whether I should join a health club again or not. And finally, I decided to just check out and see what I could find for a used elliptical. And I found one that works perfectly for me, and I got it for what I thought was a decent price. And I've tried it out. And I think it works really well for me. One thing I like about it is that I don't have to worry about setting up some music or finding a TV show to watch or anything like that, like I would in a health club, because this elliptical is set up in my garage. And since my garage is Paul's percussion paradise, we don't keep a car or anything like that in there. We have another place to store stuff that you would usually keep in the garage. So I use my garage for things that matter to me. Stacy would actually call it Paul's man cave, but I don't really see it as a man cave. I see it as more of my percussion paradise and a place where we can open the garage door on nice days when we have friends over and have picnics and barbecues in our backyard. If you're one of my friends who has enjoyed that, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. So anyways, I have the elliptical now. I've been trying it out. And the beauty is that I have a TV out there, and I can set up the TV to whatever I want to watch. I've got all the apps that come with our Roku package. So I'll just pick what will keep me interested for a half hour, and my plan is to use it every day, except on the days when it's nice out and I can go bike riding instead. So I've been an avid bike rider most of my life, and I love getting out and enjoying it, but I'm not crazy about the cold. So, and of course, Stacy and I like to go dancing a lot too. We met because of dancing, and we still like to go out a lot, although we don't go out quite as much as we did when we first met, for the simple reason that Stacy in particular works an earlier shift now, so it's harder for her to stay out late and get up for work the next morning. We do have an inspiration, within our group of friends. We have a guy who is 92 years old, and the place where we like to go dancing, he tends to outdance everybody. So he's a real inspiration in my life. Now, one constant in my life has been my hearing loss. I have moderate to severe sensorineural hearing loss. And even after all these years, I'm still not getting the particular phrase absolutely correct. But it's commonly known as nerve deafness, and it's hereditary. So that has impacted my life in great ways ever since I was born. I certainly don't feel sorry for myself. I have adapted to it, and I've learned ways of dealing with it so that I can go on with a normal life. Now, I did start a new YouTube channel called Huh? That's an acronym for Hear You Hear. And the episode that came out yesterday, Saturday, January 17, I have a simulation on there of what my hearing sounds like. And I'd like to play you a clip from that episode so that you can find out what my hearing is actually like. And here's the clip. To demonstrate what my hearing sounds like to me, I am now going to run my voice through an equalizer. Using the audiogram from my hearing tests, I'm going to change the frequencies so that it will match what I am able to hear. I'm going to turn the captioning off for this next part because I want you to know what it really sounds like to me when I can't hear what people are saying. So just for this next part, I'm going to turn off the captions and I'm going to turn on the equalizer and I'm going to read a passage from this book. And let's see how well you can understand what I'm saying. One of my favorite stories is about Paul Pakish, who lives in upstate New York. After 32 years working at a local television station in the control room, he found himself without a job in his late 50s. Okay, now stressing the importance of lip reading, my ability to lip read while I'm listening to someone, I'm going to cover my mouth so that you can't see what my mouth is doing or what my lips are doing while I'm reading the next few sentences. It was a classic story of how technology had eliminated his position, a piece of information he received in a very matter-of-fact way in 2014. He had studied speech and communication in college. Are you getting it? Now I'm going to turn the equalizer off so that my voice will be normal to anyone who's listening to this. And he had gotten an accounting degree in his early 50s because he was already thinking about his future. The second simulation I want to give is from a website at starkey.com.
Hi, Hadley. How's it going?
Good, Grandpa.
What'd you do in school today?
Well, one main thing was that media got canceled, so our class got to either write or draw something.
And what did you write or draw?
Well, I wrote something, and I call it the
Love to.
random fact of the day. Did you know that if you dug a hole from one side of the earth to the other and you jumped through it?
So that's a clip from my YouTube channel, Hear You Hear, simulating what my hearing loss is like. So how does it affect me in a daily life? Well, that's what the YouTube channel is all about. And I would really like to invite you to check it out. If you don't have hearing loss yourself, maybe you can share it with other people. Trying to be upbeat and positive about the kinds of things that I'm going to talk about on that YouTube channel. We have a little bit of fun with you. Like, huh? You know, I like to include some misheard words and things that turned out to be funny situations because I didn't hear something correctly. And you can certainly contribute to that too. Now, my hearing loss has affected my employment. When I first got into radio broadcasting, I was in high school, and in college I went through some speech therapy. And because I had some speech impediments due to my hearing loss, and they helped me with that. I think I still have some speech impediments, but I guess it's not as bad as it was at one point. So I've gotten through just fine. And When I applied for my first television station job, I brought up my concern to the guy who was hiring me. I said, the thing I'm concerned about the most is the headsets that they use in the studio for camera operators. So he took me out to the studio. I put a headset on, we tried it out, and I said, it seems to work fine for me. I was hired, and that began a 32-year career of working in a TV station. Nowadays, I'm a school bus driver, and there is a minimum requirement for being able to hear on a school bus. School bus drivers are required to have minimum health requirements in order to drive, and we get an annual physical to make sure we meet those requirements. As somebody who's hard of hearing, without my hearing aids, my hearing would not meet those requirements. So every year before I go for my annual exam, I go to my audiologist who tests my hearing, makes a report out of it, and makes adjustments to my hearing aids if needed. So therefore, I'm required to wear my hearing aids when I'm driving a school bus. It works out pretty well. So that's a look at my health at the age of 65. I'd like to invite you to like this video and to subscribe to this channel, Hot Chocolate with Paul. You will help both of us out by subscribing and liking this video. I'd also like you to subscribe to my new channel, That's Hear You Here. That's all for today. I'm Paul Packish. Have a good day. Hot Chocolate with Paul is a video log of life experiences that I feel might inspire other people. I'm a minimalist 60-plus geezer in the making. Sometimes my wife Stacy will appear. Be sure to subscribe to this channel so you can catch new videos whenever they come out.